Hold on, I got security following me. Ladies and gentlemen, I might be short on time. This great location might not be open to me for long, so let's get down to it really quickly. The cheapest way to change your oil inside a Mercedes-Benz is at the Mercedes-Benz dealer. Big surprise, I know, but I'll take you through the journey of how we got to that conclusion. I'm gonna go through the typical three options. Option 1, DIY. Option 2, discount oil change. And option 3, the dealership, the Mercedes-Benz dealership. I know it's gonna be quite a surprise, but let's run through the numbers really quickly. Number 1, DIY. Could I get a little bit more space? It's hard for me to perform if people are watching me. No? You gotta watch me? Because when people are looking at me, I get a little bit nervous, and then I can't do a great video. I stutter a little and whatnot, you know what I mean? You can't go a little bit farther? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So look, option number 1, it's the DIY. We're gonna go to Walmart and get the raw materials. If you just wanna get the engine oil required for this thing, which is 8 liters of the 5W40, it's gonna run you $100. Pretty much $100 for 10 liters. This thing needs 8. You're gonna be left with 1.5 liters. That's just gonna sit in your garage. It's a mess. Let's just say it's $100 plus, I'll give you some credit here, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be more, plus 15 bucks for the oil filter. But hey, since we're here, so this in total is gonna run you $115. Forget about all the tools you need and all the jazz you gotta put up with doing it yourself, all the mess and all blah. Look, this is about Mercedes-Benz ownership, hence a little bit of a luxury lifestyle. I'm not trying to get these hands greasy and dirty. The amount of time that it's gonna take you to do the oil change yourself, that varies. For me, it'd be quite some time, but we're gonna get to that when we get to the comparison of the other ones. So number 2, it's Mr. Lube. I called Mr. Lube a few places, and the quotes that I got were interesting. Hi, I'd like to get a quote.
With the oil filter and everything, you'll be looking at like $160 approximately.
How much?
$160 before tax. Thank you for calling, Mr. Luke. How can I help you?
Oil change?
It's a 5W40 8 liters, so you're more towards the range of around like $180 to $200.
I see. Okay, thank you. I got to do some comparing.
Of course.
And this is actually the most expensive option of the 3, depending on how much time it takes you to do the oil change yourself if you go with option 1. And now option 3. At Mercedes, I'm gonna smile a little because I'm gonna feel clever about this. It's $155. It's actually weird. It's against common wisdom completely. I think I might get kicked out, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on.
Okay, sir.
Please. 2 more minutes, no?
There, please. Shut that thing off, please.
Shutting it off.
Push it to the limit.
And I apologize to give you any grief, but we request you that you please leave the area. This is private property.
Well, I'm turning it off and I'm leaving.
May I ask you what you're doing?
I'm doing a maintenance review on the vehicle. Oil changes. Hence, I figured an oil refinery would be a beautiful backdrop. I figured I was far enough.
I'm not trying to be a prick to you.
No, I understand. I'll apologize to him too, because I didn't listen to him. You know what? It's an eyesore, but it's beautiful at the same time.
All those terrorist stuff?
No, do not apologize to me.
Is that yours or?
Yeah, it's weird. You can pick one of these up for like $5,000 these days. Yeah, depreciation.
You ready for something like this?
For something like this.
A safe one, my friend.
Now look, one thing that I need to stress is relativity. You see, in economics, there's something called the Big Mac Index. If you're living in California, the amount of money that gets you a double Big Mac there only gets me a regular Big Mac here. You see what I mean? That's not what the Big Mac Index is, but we're actually in the garage close by to the refinery. Hey, who's digging that sunset? But here's the bottom line. Remember how I mentioned the DIY numbers? When you figure in the time factor and the fact that minimum wage up in this area is 14 bucks an hour, quick math, it costs you $112 in raw materials versus $155 at Mercedes-Benz. But remember this, at Mercedes-Benz, you will get a hand wash and a carpet vacuum. And I'm telling you, if your car's got any of that salt stain stuff, they will steam wash it too, okay? That is at minimum in this area a $20 value. So really you're paying $135 at Mercedes-Benz. So now we're talking about a $20 difference. Now look, I have to admit my time is not that valuable, but even at minimum wage, 14 bucks an hour, given the $20 difference, yeah, it makes sense for me to take it to the dealer. It's a crazy world we live in, I know. Take your baby out. Remember, going to Mr. Lube is the equivalent of taking your lover out to Subway. Going to the Mercedes-Benz dealership is treating your lady. You're going to a 4-star restaurant. Not to mention, let's not forget, as far as record keeping, as far as resale value, S-Class buyers are particular, and for the S-Class, it's a niche market of particular people. What do you think a potential buyer is going to like to see? A Jiffy Lube, a Mr. Lube receipt, or a bunch of these? Personally, seeing these kind of records, it gets me off a little. Geez, this video is not going to turn out well. Call your local Benz place, make an appointment. If you live in the GTA on the West End, call MB of Oakville. I like my service there, I'm gonna shout them out. Your service advisor, I recommend Phil. Honestly, he looks like Brian Cooley.
One day I want to be a Mercedes mechanic, only because they have the most spacious offices.
This video's botched. I think I got kicked out because of the hair and glasses combo. You can see that cluster of lights there, but man, honestly guys, I'll tell you this. I still park this thing and I still look back. And this is not even its best angle. Not even close. I'll give you a good angle. And yeah, I forgot to mention this. Look, you don't really want to take your baby to like Mr. Lube, Jiffy Lube, whatever lube. They don't really know what they're doing. Look, it's teenagers and crackheads, well-meaning ones, but they don't know what they're doing. I've seen them mess up many things, and I've heard stories of them Googling how to get to or change the oil on certain cars that come in. I mean, odds are much lower that someone's gonna mess your car up at MB versus the corner oil joint. And as far as doing it yourself, look, I'm not lazy, I just don't wanna get underneath the car. I've been in a shop and I've seen a 7 Series fall on someone while they were under it. Luckily, this was the skinniest person I've ever seen in my life, so he didn't die. He did get a good compression though. He came out squeezing, gasping for air, you know, in absolute shock. He saw his life. Woo! The ambulance came, he got carried away. He seemed fine, he didn't, but who knows. I checked up on them later. The guy was okay, luckily. I'm telling you, he was the thinnest person I've ever seen. Otherwise, he's literally underneath the car's jacked up. I mean, I guess in a weird way, but this is supposedly a professional European car shop. The car slips, bam! Not to mention I saw the owner in there, I'm like, damn, did this do something to your suspension? I mean, your car just free fell 1.5 feet. So I'm hesitant to get underneath the car. And look, hey, finally, for those of you who like doing it, it's a passion, it's an enjoyment, it's a hobby, I get it. Has that fan been going on the whole time? But you can't tell me that as far as economics are concerned, that doing it yourself makes sense. Not in the Toronto area anyway, but I speculate that relatively speaking between the 3 options, it's a similar story all across North America.